Ken Prager, and I'm here at the Elkhart Model Railroad Club, and our subject tonight is graffiti. As you know, we have a lot of trains out there have a lot of different graffiti on them, and part of it is it gives it the realistic look. And now you throw the weathering on them. At most time, graffiti on the weathering has just been freshly painted. So you've got a car that's all dirty. Most of the time, the graffiti is nice and shiny. This one here I did today, and it was just a matter of seeing which chemicals, whether the chemicals still worked or not. There's a lot of different chemicals out there that you can use for the decals. You've got Microset, you've got this Decal Magic, you've got Decal Fix. They're all the same. I can't see any big difference between any of them. Most of the time I use Microset just because I've used it longer and I know what it does. The hardest part with the graffiti here, and I use Blair Lines graffiti, and it's a laser cut. So when you take it out, it's basically all to shape, and you don't have that outer flashing where you'll get that silvering on the outer part of a decal when you apply them. So these are real nice laser cut, and they are a water slide. Some of this stuff is really intricate, though. You know, if you look at this one here, I mean, you've got this itty bitty line. So it can be a lot of real tedious. But I'm going to throw this in the water, and we'll get one of these going here in a minute. I was thinking tonight to do some different applications on some different surfaces. This is just plain balsa wood, but this is also from Foss scale models, the wood that they use. And what I did was I took and primed the surface, and this is dull coat, the average that you get in this big square bottles. And I brought lacquer thinner, of course, but I was looking at graffiti on this, which I did this last year when I did this, and it's got graffiti right at the bottom, covered up. So it got tagged. But I wanted to see how well it goes on wood. I didn't want to put it on the siding, on the good side, because I haven't built it yet. But, you know, so I did this little section here, so I'm going to put one on that. And then there's this real textured. This is actually a roof. But if you took and put it vertical, you'd have siding. You know, this way it's a shingled roof, and that way it's a cedar siding on a house. And then the old concrete look, which is part of the viaduct that's going to be going in over here, that's going to have to get tagged. You know that, because the ones in the concrete around this area have been tagged, and they're all written up with everybody. Anyways, I'm going to get this thing out of here. Hopefully it's going to slide off. Part of the thing too with these is locating them. Tank cars, they're usually higher because the guys don't want to put them down underneath the bottom of the tank car, so they're always higher. Most of them in the rail yards, they have a tendency to stand on the catwalks, and then they put the graffiti on. You know, this one I haven't done. It was just to look at one that's weathered, one with graffiti versus the way they come in a box, and why we put graffiti on them. So this is just this is just a slide off. And then it's just a matter of moving it around. And then take the setting solution. I always use a long brush because I can push it around a little bit and it kind of slops it, rather than, and then just try and a lot of it's just dabbing it around, trying to get get the wrinkles out of it, and just keeping it wet. The solution on here, it says it's setting solution, but it softens them to improve adhesion. So we'll be able to get it inside all the grain that's on the car and the wood slats, and it'll go over rivets and a bunch of other stuff. But it's a matter of, you know, got to wet it, kind of take and run a paper towel over it, wet it again, take a paper towel, let it sit for a while, and try not to smear them. But these worked really well. They set up in about an hour to where you can actually paint them, or seal them, and then just squeeze it all out and just rework it again. You can and when you get them down on the bottom and stuff, down near the frame and stuff, yeah, see, now it's getting down in the lines. So if you can get it down that close. And you can do the rivets on this side. I ran across this one and made rivets with a small pounce wheel, which is, you just run it across and literally it just makes a bunch of little holes. But just adding more realism to it and just doing other stuff, it's just part of, you know, how much do you want to go? How many rivets do you want to count? You know, and how much? But that's basically it for that's it. Let it dry now, and then I'll just take a brush and brush some dull coat over it, or I'll shoot the whole side of the boxcar just to dull it up. And I'm going to pass that around. You guys can look and see how it gets stuck in there. And then, you know, the other one is, in order to put them on wood, it's, like I say, you have to seal it. Sanding sealer or any kind of sealer to seal the wood up. Because if you stick it onto the wood, it's porous and it will not stick. It's the same way when you use some other of your graffiti, the stuff that's a regular decal, and it'll have that film around the outer edge. You actually have to take and spray a gloss paint out there. You have to take gloss, clear gloss, in the area you're going to put the decal, coat it in clear gloss. Because when you put the decal on, it won't silver, and then you have to go back and spray it with a dull coat. But if you do that, you get a silvering around it, and it has this little haze around, and they start to curl up and peel off. Let me find another one here. Also, I found this that Blair Line makes too. There's manhole covers and street grates and all sorts of stuff. But that's why I like Blair Line stuff, is they have an awful lot of different stuff. So yeah, doing streets and street corners and all that stuff. But this is laser cut, so I mean, it's just a, you know, it almost has the texture of wood. Give that a couple minutes. And I'm just going to plop this on down. And it's on wood. Now it's, like I say, it's basically sealed wood. But they'll stick right onto it, and that's just how easy it is with the wood. It's how easy it was when I did this plastic over here. Cars are a little more because they have, you know, rivets and details and stuff. And that's about as hard as it gets putting these on.